Being a new leader at the school, I thought it would be good for me to always, find opportunities, and this was one of those opportunities to develop my professional leadership and management of the school. So I'm always looking for another opportunity, and this was one of them. Wishing for years for a life coach, to be blessed that my business partner, Paul Sarak, was a life coach, was just really. So the universe had connected everything for me and made sure that I not only got an opportunity to gain business acumen, but also be exposed to a life coach. It wasn't easy because I'm now going to have to start talking about these personal and private things with a stranger. But Paul, who was our facilitator of our group, made such an easy connection when Paul and himself came into this office, and I could just, after a few minutes of introducing each other and just sharing, Paul Sarak himself had been on a governing body at the school. He taught also, and so he knew the complexities that we are exposed to within the school, and just that empathy and understanding from both Pauls that I worked with, and more Paul Sarak. That day there were tears. The tears were pent up frustration, anger, even aggression, because of just feeling overwhelmed. There are avenues of support. However, the time to connect on a one-on-one basis just never allowed you really the freedom to speak about anything and everything else. So you would stick to the technical things, the school, what's happening here, how to improve results. That was the focus all the time. But there wasn't care for the caregiver. So you're looking after everything else in the school, but who helps you to put things in place again? And so that's where Paul Sarak came in. It just helped me to prioritize, because a lot of time I wasn't looking after myself. It's a very lonely position to be in a principal's seat or the office. Hardly. I mean, no one really wants to come in here freely. So you don't have time also for the connections. And so I think that with all of what work that needed to be done at Cornflower, that's what made it a very emotional, taxing time for me. And so emotionally, I needed to let rip, and I let rip in the comfort of my office with and in the safety of Paul, the facilitator, and Paul Sarak, my coach. I think it lies within the fact that you actually get to the heart, and that the principal does have a heart. Who, like you said, people don't easily warm up to a principal. I came from outside, an outside WCD employer into Cornflower. So I wasn't here from its inception, and there are many staff here. And so for me it was very challenging, knowing the work that needed to be done and how I needed to zone in and achieve all of those results. I think in a way I created that lonely space for myself also, because I needed to protect myself. I needed to be, like you had said just now, that straight shooter. I needed to call a spade a spade. I needed to do what needed to be done. But somewhere along the line, I might have been responsible for creating that lonely space also, because of the professional distance I had to maintain. And it was a way for me to protect. But in doing so, I started closing off myself. And with PFP, yes, the wonderful workshops that we attended, it was all about connecting again, about getting together, finding yourself also, but finding others also within that relationship. And with Paul, working with Paul, knowing and having the opportunity, like now I can say, it might have been me also that created that lonely space.